And many times, and here's the catch about, writing a blog or being on Twitter or Facebook. For you to be followed, you need to have something relevant to say. That something relevant to say, you say, will actually hurt some sentiments and gain some sentiments. Unfortunately, because people can't take it out on the leader, they'll take it out on the company and the people in the company. And hence, in order to protect my employees and my company, I said, look, I will not do this. I don't need it. Okay, but that's my strategy. That's because in this country, people will not separate the public from the private view. You need to be aware of that. And you carry a responsibility for your people through your words, through your statements. As long as you're fully aware of that, by all means do what you do. The day it hurts your company, I would suggest you think about it seriously. Okay, seriously. So in my book, leaders have a responsibility to their people and their employees, to their society, to ensure that anything they say should not hurt them. Okay, so this is something I seriously want you to think about. I've thought about it, I've made my call. It's up to you whether you want to be public or private. Next, very important, digital has a massive hard disk. It remembers everything you've said over the last 10, 15 years. Remember that. What I'm saying right now will be up on YouTube sometime. Okay, so you have to be extremely, extremely careful. So I give you a simple example. The other day in my company, somebody who was running one of the initiatives stood behind the podium like this and spoke. So I gave her feedback saying, look, when you are in this kind of an audience, it's your event, walk around on the stage, and get people involved and engaged. She said, okay, good feedback. She went and told a friend that. So you know what this friend does? Young girl, bright girl who works in our company. She went and checked YouTube on the net to see how many times has Shiv stood behind the podium and how many times has he stood on the stage. And she wrote back saying, look, these 4 times I see that you stood behind the podium. Then I wrote back to her saying, look, when there is a panel on stage, when there is something on stage, I can't walk. And that's why I use the podium. If there's nothing on stage, I tend to walk. Okay, so digital has a very massive memory. So as a leader, whatever you post, be careful what you're posting. Okay, because what you post today might not stand the test of time 5 years from now. But that's a chance all of us take. Okay, so digital has a massive hard disk, and you have to be cognizant of this hard disk and its existence. How it will play out, I don't know. But all I'm warning you is, every single thing you say, people will check 10 times over. What did he say before? I promise you, when this speech goes on, people will check what I've said about smartphones and apps and this thing in the past. They will check that to see consistency. That's only right, because as leaders, we need to hold the best standards. So digital has a massive hard disk. Be aware of it. Finally, whatever your enterprise, whatever your strategy, it doesn't matter in my book. Okay? Computing cost, storage cost, everything is low. The true value, the true premium in an enterprise today is talent. The true value is in talent and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. You should be spending all your time not worrying whether you have a digital strategy. You should be spending all your time whether you have a good people strategy that retains great talent. You can buy digital, you can buy something, you can buy etc., but you can't buy good talent. You have to keep good talent. Okay, you have to attract good talent, you have to keep good talent. Okay, so whatever your strategy in the digital space, if you don't have the right talent, that digital strategy will fail. So while digital strategy and digital infrastructure is a great enabler, in the hands of poor talent, it will get nowhere. It will get misused. So my submission to you, by all means go down the digital strategy route, but couple it, combine it with a very strong talent strategy. That's when your company will succeed. Just having a digital strategy on its own is not a guarantee for success in a digital world. No, not at all. It's talent which makes the difference. So my urge to all of you, go and seek the best talent and go and keep the best talent. That's what leadership should be doing in a digital age and in a digital enterprise. So in summary, next slide please. In summary, what I want to say is that the world is changing very, very quickly. The average life of an S&P 500 company in 1960 was 60 years. The average life of an S&P company today, S&P 500 company, is 12 years. Digital, a small company has great agility and no scale. A large company has scale and no agility. Digital can give them both the advantages. Sourcing, you put your policy out on the net, you do all the buying in a digital way, it will help you. It will help you be a transparent company, a genuine company. Equally, distributed leadership is very, very important, how you decide in a company. Getting the strategy buy-in and getting the values buy-in across a company is very easy if you do it on a digital platform. Encouraging more people to speak will make you a much more humbler company. Being a humble company will make you responsive and not arrogant. Social listening to what consumers and customers are saying about you is a great leveler. Because immediately, almost every 24 hours, you know whether you're striking it right or wrong. Absolutely. You'll find that almost every day. Equally, digital strategy and a digital enterprise has many flaws in it. Okay? The first big flaw is confidential information will be out in the marketplace. The second big flaw is leaders' opinions. People will not separate the private from the public opinion. So you need to be very careful about what you're going to say. Okay? For all that I say, I don't think you can ever reverse the movement of digital in this world. Digital is happening, will happen, and the combination of where I started my speech, smartphones, apps, and internet will change it dramatically. Companies have made $14 billion of sales on selling apps last year. Okay. Smartphones are selling 1.2 billion phones every year. 1 billion phones every year since 2013. Today, the world has more SIM cards than population. 7.5 billion SIM cards, 7.2 billion population. Okay, more SIM cards. 5.5 billion phones. The world is truly personal, truly digitized today. The choice is yours how you want to run your company. Okay? So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was my pleasure to put this together for you. Unfortunately, I have to leave now because I have another engagement at 11 o'clock back in Gurgaon. My apologies that I will not be able to take any question and answers. But I wish you the very best for today. And whatever you do, all success to you. Thank you.
Thank you. But, sir, before you leave, may I request Mr. Hoshi Gaswala to hand over a token of appreciation, a memento? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. D. Shivakumar.